Hello, I'm Mark Scholaro, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Today, I have the pleasure of presenting you an absolutely beautiful 1986 Porsche 944 Coupe that has 37,850 original miles. To start off this presentation here, this is a non-rehearsed video. There's a lot of information about this particular vehicle that I'm sure I'm going to forget, although I will be referencing some notes in the binder throughout the presentation. So I would ask to please visit our website at msclassiccars.com for a full description with tons of highly detailed photos. If you have or have not been following MS Classic Cars, please note that I only collect #1 and #2 condition vehicles. We are the only classic car dealership in the country who services everything we sell. We document that work with an invoice, and then we detail our vehicles to the highest level. Once the new owner purchases the car, we continue the professionalism throughout the entire process. I will even coordinate the enclosed shipping, and when the car gets loaded, we even cover it with a brand new plastic cover. So feel very confident. Do your homework on MS Classic Cars. On the note of the servicing of this vehicle, I do create a brand new binder for every vehicle that we sell, as I've done with this vehicle here. Everything is laid out in methodical order, all the information I get with the vehicle. Regarding the service on this particular car, it is documented that we invested a total of $6,441.12 in this vehicle. Again, this invoice can be found in our photo gallery on our website. Before I get into the details of the car and so forth, I do want to tell the quick story of how I acquired this car. We actually brought a very impressive collection to the New England Auto Auction, which took place in August. It's in Owl's Head, Maine. The name of the company that puts on the auction is the Owl's Head Transportation Museum. I want to give Toby Stinson a shout out. A gentleman that was actually at that auction that we attended with the collection, he was super impressed by the quality of the vehicles that we had brought there. It was an epic auction for us. And he said to me when I had gotten back to the dealership a couple days later that he had a vehicle that he was thinking about selling, told me about the vehicle, and he said, "Mark, it would absolutely fit in your collection. It's a real high quality piece, something I'm really proud of." He just wasn't using the vehicle at all and thought it would make sense to sell it. So I told him to send me whatever information he could on the vehicle. As soon as I saw the vehicle, I knew that I was going to buy it. We negotiated our deal, and here it is today. So cool story. A lot of the vehicles that I do purchase are not vehicles that you typically will find at auctions or cars that have traded tons and tons of hands. I try to go after vehicles that have stories, vehicles that haven't been all over the place, and this vehicle here kind of fit that mold. So to get into some of the details here, This car sports a very desirable color combination. It's called Zermatt Silver Metallic with black partial leather interior. It is powered by the 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder engine with the seldom seen automatic transmission. We have had some spectacular 944s here at the dealership. You can check those out on our sold page. I'm a really good judge of character with these low mileage cars. This one is absolutely gorgeous. In case you don't know the history of the 944, it was made from 1982 to 1991. In 1986, a total of 17,010 Porsche 944 models were produced worldwide, and of those, 10,901 were actually exported to the United States. The vehicle was ordered with the following options, as indicated on the original option code sticker. The really nice thing about these Porsches is they come with an option code sticker. It's kind of a fragile piece of paper that was glued to the vehicle. This one happens to be in the rear trunk area, as most of them are, depending on the year, make, and model. And that clearly indicates where the vehicle was built, what it was built as, year, make, model, the color, all the options, so you can reference that when you're trying to decode the vehicle, as we've done here today. I took it a step further beyond doing that because I don't have the original window sticker. I actually called the Porsche dealership that I had the vehicle serviced at. They sent me this form, which I've included. I've also posted it within our gallery of photos, but this just solidified the information that I pulled off the option sticker, the code sticker in the back. Okay, so getting into the options, it has, these are above and beyond this factory standard equipment. It has the central locking system, it has the protective side moldings, it has the rear wiper, it also has the 4-spoke steering wheel, it has cruise control, stabilizers and sport shocks, electric sliding sunroof, and partial leather front seats. It does have a clean Carfax report as well. MS Classic Cars is a Carfax dealer, so of course I printed the Carfax report, which is actually right here, and this gives you all the information. It clearly states no accidents or damage reported. Again, it gives it a great review here, and of course its full history, which is spelled out. So that Carfax report is included. The vehicle was first sold to an owner who lived in Franklin, New Jersey on October 30th, 1985. It was then sold to the second owner who lived in Englewood, New Jersey on September 26, 2014. So it was with the original owner from 1985 to 2014. Pretty impressive. It had 34,320 miles at the time of the sale. Then the second owner moved to Wayne, New Jersey and renewed the registration on March 27, 2015 with a reported 35,600 miles. The second owner then traded the vehicle into a dealership. It was called Open Road Acura, located in Wayne, New Jersey on August 2nd, 2019 with 37,014 miles. The dealership sold the vehicle at auction on August 12, 2019 with 37,471 miles, and then it was purchased by another dealer in Pennsylvania who had a new title produced in their name. That was on September 9th, 2019. That dealership sold it to the third owner who lived in Bradley, Maine, and that was on December 16th, 2019 with 37,744 miles. The third owner purchased the vehicle as an investment, but didn't use it often. That's the person that I was referencing. Again, the New England Auto Auction is in Owl's Head, Maine. That's where the gentleman was from. He was from Maine, and that's kind of how the whole thing happened. So during the ownership of the car, he always garaged it. He took really good care of it, but he obviously didn't drive it many miles. So MS Classic Cars purchased the vehicle from the third owner on August 20th, 2021 with 37,771 miles. I immediately took this car, rather than bringing it to our service department. We do have 4 full-time mechanics. We got a beautiful service facility. You can check it out on our website. I decided to take this car, as I do with a lot of our newer cars, to a Porsche dealership, and I literally gave them an open checkbook to do whatever they wanted to do to the car regarding all of their service work and so forth. all of these invoices for those repairs and service work are all in our photo gallery. You can clearly see all of this information here. It's heavily documented. And as I mentioned earlier, I invested $6,441.12 making this car right. Interesting thing that had happened was after I had all the service work done, I contacted the gentleman that I actually purchased it from. I sent him the invoice and he said, Mark, I thought that car was in great condition before you guys even touched it, but it goes to show you what makes your company different than everybody else. I think most people probably would have just taken the car the way it was, cleaned it up a little bit and rolled it. But again, that's not what we do here at the dealership. So I really want to go on record. And these are all things that are very common with these older vehicles. Sometimes people think that because something has low mileage or it's in beautiful condition that it doesn't need service. That is not correct. And we went ahead and took care of all that. So the new owner has literally nothing to worry about except enjoying the car. So to get into some of the exterior features and part of the presentation here, the outside of the vehicle is in absolutely beautiful condition. The body's beautiful. It does retain all of its original factory paint. This is a very desirable color. It's an absolutely gorgeous color. If you haven't seen it in person, what we do here at MS Classic Cars is to verify that something does have the original paint. We do an electronic paint meter presentation. I'm going to get out of the vehicle now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around the vehicle. It's only going to take a few minutes. I'm just going to point out any imperfections that it might have to be completely transparent, and I'm going to document that the vehicle does retain all of its original paint. So let's go ahead and do that now. And then when we're finished, I'll go over the interior. So let's do that now. What I'm going to do is a quick walk around presentation of our 86 Porsche 944. As I mentioned, this car is in absolutely beautiful condition. It does have a clean Carfax report, but just because vehicles have a clean Carfax report does not mean that they have never had any paint work. This vehicle does indeed retain all of its original factory paint, which I'm going to show with an electronic paint meter here. For anybody who doesn't know, these electronic paint meters are very reliable, and what they do is they tell you whether or not a car has or does not have original factory paint. Depending on the manufacturer, year, make, model, these do vary a little bit, and they're never exact throughout the entire presentation. From our experience and what the company says, with newer vehicles, you can expect the readings to be as low as 2 to 3, and sometimes as high as 8 or 9. Somewhere in that category, and again, you're looking for somewhat of consistency throughout the vehicle. So as an example, if the hood was a 2 and the rear quarter was a 10, well then you'd assume the rear quarter had been painted. So let's go ahead and start with our paint meter presentation. I also would like to point out some of the imperfections on the vehicle. As you would imagine, with a vehicle that's from 1986, you are going to find some imperfections. So let's start with the front fascia of the car. This front fascia here is in absolutely beautiful condition. There is a tiny little speck there. Again, there's a little speck here as well. These aren't anything that are big. You can see with my finger how small they are, but it really presents itself well. There's a couple of little tiny chips on the front bumper. The Porsche emblem's beautiful. The rubber black bumpers are beautiful. But underneath, the area that you don't really see when you're looking at the car, this is very common because it happens when you hit curbs. Curbs sit about this high, and this area in the front here definitely has a little bit of rash from curbs. That's the only area on the car that I would say has been touched up a few times over the years. But once you go to the next level around the lights and so forth, this obviously becomes really, really beautiful. So I just wanted to make sure we were transparent and pointed that out. When I'm looking at the hood here, the hood is in absolutely beautiful condition. I don't even see a tiny chip on the hood. Again, I'm not going to bring out my magnifying glass. I just want to kind of give you an overview of the car. So let's go ahead and hit the hood here with the paint meter. You'll see that it's a 4.5, which indicates original factory paint. I'll go ahead and hit the hood one more time. Again, 5.0, very consistent numbers. Definitely no paint work on the hood. We'll move over to the side, driver's side fender here. We got a 4.0, again, original factory paint. We'll do it here. A 5, again, original factory paint. While we're in this area here, we can take a quick look at these wheels. These are the phone dial wheels. That's what people refer to them as. They're 15-inch. These are actually in really, really nice condition. There might be the tiniest little imperfection on the wheel, but they're in super nice condition. Talking about the glass in this vehicle does have the factory stamps on it. It is in absolutely beautiful shape. A lot of times, even with cars with 30,000 miles, you get a lot of road rash. This windshield is like brand new. There's no road rash. There's no major scratches or any chips in any of the glass. As I demonstrated later in the video, this sunroof works beautifully. This does pop open with a button inside. It's kind of a nice feature. That was an option with this car. All of the black trim, the moldings and everything is super tight. There's no deterioration on any of this. There's no cracking on any of this. It just looks beautiful even around the mirrors. Using the paint meter here on the door, you'll see it's a 4.5. Again, that's factory original paint. These doors open and close beautifully. Down below on these 944s, you actually have kind of a different material. This was a factory installed material, and this tends to get a little bit of road rash on here. This is actually in beautiful shape. There might be a little bit toward the bottom, but it's beautiful. And these are factory indentations here. So that if you see that in any of our pictures and look at any Porsche 944 online, those are not dents. Those are factory indentations. I believe those are for jacking purposes. So you know where the jack spots are located underneath the vehicle when you have to do repair work. Getting into the roof, again, we got a 4.5. I'll go ahead and I'll do it one more time right here. We got a 5.0, so we have all the original factory paint on the roof. Rear driver's side quarter, same thing, 5.0. Very consistent numbers, 6.0. Again, all original factory paint. We'll make our way down toward this wheel as well. You'll notice this is not a scratch. This is actually, again, a factory installed plastic piece here that was designed and applied to prevent chips and things like that. So all that is in place. This wheel is in really nice shape. It does have a couple of little imperfections. Again, there's no like real gouges. It's just a few little scratches. These are things that you would expect, especially from a car from 1986 with 37,000 plus miles. Getting into the rear, as I mentioned, the rear glass is in beautiful condition. You got your third brake light up there. This rear wiper was an option. The spoiler is in beautiful shape. That's another thing with these cars. When they're not properly stored, the spoilers get kind of flimsy. They crack in the corners and things like this. You can check out a lot of cars online and see what I'm talking about. This one is in beautiful shape. All the taillights and everything is in beautiful shape. Even the 944 emblem, the black bumpers in the back. I'll go ahead and use the paint meter on the back here. Again, 5.5 original factory paint. Making our way over to the passenger rear quarter, which is also in beautiful shape. By the way, if I saw any chips or any scratches, again, without pulling out my magnifying glass, I would mention them in this video here. I really don't see anything that's worth mentioning. It's in beautiful condition. Again, a 4.0. 4.5, all original factory paint. Again, we got these wheels, which are in really nice shape. It looks like there was a little touch-up done here on one of the wheels, but again, it's in beautiful shape, no gouges. A lot of times when people rub against curbs and so forth, they gouge the wheels, but this one looks like it was more scratches. Again, the plastic that you see here and down here, this is all factory installed. Same thing with this piece, just like it was on the driver's side. Hit the top of the roof. Passenger side, again, we got a 4.5. Here, we have a 4.0, all original factory paint. Getting into the passenger door, 4.0. 4.0, and again, this door opens and closes beautifully. And you can still see, even in the door jamb, how nice everything is. Original factory stickers. You can see how nice all the strikers are, the vents. I mean, this car is in beautiful condition. All the seals. Again, if I were to have told somebody this car had 5,000 miles on it, you would never know the difference. That's how nice and how clean this car is. Beautiful. The mirror, everything is super nice here. Again, the glass is like new. All the moldings are like new. Front fender, a 6.0, original factory paint. Again, 6.0. And one more time, I'll just touch the hood here. We got a 4.0. So all the numbers on this car are ranging basically between a 4 and a 6, 100% original paint. And as I mentioned earlier, it does have, again, this protective coating here, which is from the factory. Down below, again, you might see a few things in our pictures on the lift, but again, it's all original. It's in beautiful shape. And just to kind of finish off this video here, you can see this wheel is in really, really nice condition. There's a couple of tiny little marks on it, but whoever buys this car is going to be super proud. This car is not nice enough where you would never drive it, but nice enough where you'd be super proud to drive it, maybe even take it to some shows. All right, so let's make our way back into the interior of the car, and I'll go over that for you as well. Thank you. Now that we've done the exterior presentation on the vehicle, I'd like to talk a little bit about the interior. The interior of this car here is truly like sitting in a car that has 5,000 miles. It is absolutely flawless. We have had some really low mileage Porsche 944s over the years. As I mentioned earlier, sitting inside this car is like truly sitting inside of a new vehicle. The sunroof area here and the headliner is in perfect condition. The sun visors are nice and tight. They're in perfect condition. The rear view mirror is beautiful. The dash is absolutely flawless. A lot of the times with these dashboards, you'll see deterioration, you'll see cracking and so forth. This vehicle was obviously cared for throughout its entire life. It is absolutely like new. The gauges are crystal clear. All the knobs, everything is in working order. Even the steering wheel is absolutely beautiful. The gear shift lever, the console, the door panels, the seats. One thing that we did at the dealership is we added brand new Porsche floor mats that I thought really complemented the interior. At some point, the original radio was upgraded to a Blogpunk, which is a really nice radio here. It's got an MP3 player and so forth. We have pictures of the owner's manual. We got pictures of the owner's manual for the radio, all listed within our photo gallery, so make sure to check that out. But again, I can't say enough about the interior of this car. You'll have to be your own judge of opinion when you look at our photos. We clearly posted a ton of photos. The other thing I'll make a comment on is regarding the trunk compartment. The rear area there has its cargo cover. That works beautifully. That entire section of the rear lifts out. It's kind of cool because the carpet stays attached to that, and then it snaps in on the sides. You will see that all the components back there that are underneath that carpet, the sheet metal, the factory glue, all the wiring, the taillights, the spare tire, which is a space saver spare tire, the air compressor that's back there, the toolkit, everything is in absolutely beautiful condition. It is truly amazing to see how well everything has lasted all these years. Again, we're going back to 1986 with this car. When we get into the engine compartment, I would say the engine compartment is reflective of the rest of the car. It is in absolutely beautiful condition. On the back side of the hood, you'll notice that the hood insulation is brand new. That's because I replaced it. When I brought the car to the dealership, which is very common with these 944s, the hood insulation tends to deteriorate. Pieces of it kind of go everywhere. So I had them take all of that off. We put all new hood insulation in it, which looks really, really crisp, but it retains original Cosmoline, there's original stickers, there's original paint marks on a lot of the different parts. All, again, the stuff from the factory is all in place. It is truly an unmolested engine compartment, and it looks absolutely spectacular. Again, we provided a ton of photos. You can check out all the photos in detail. You can check out the video here of the engine bay itself. It really, really looks sharp. The air conditioning was converted to the R134 a while back. It blows ice cold air conditioning. Again, I can't say enough about it. And when you check out the photo gallery, you'll see the invoices. We did all the service work to this vehicle. The timing belt had been replaced according to the Porsche dealership. Even the water pump looked new, but I still, when I did the service, we did all of the tensioners, we did the rollers, we did everything for the timing belt just to bring it to that next level so nobody would have to deal with anything moving forward. Again, the engine is a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder. This engine was actually rated from the factory, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 150 horsepower. Let me just verify that here on my notes. Let's see, yes, 150 horsepower is what it was rated at with the factory, and the vehicle had a top speed of 130 miles an hour, pretty impressive. The engine is coupled to a 3-speed automatic transmission. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I had said seldom seen. Most of these 944s that you find today have the 5-speed manual transmissions. Although 5-speed manuals are really cool, a lot of people love to shift, there's a whole nother side of the world who does not like to shift. They don't want to deal with a stick shift. They don't want to deal with a clutch, etc. This is the car that has the automatic transmission. So we got the great ownership history, the great color combination. We got the automatic. So there's a lot of people out there that are going to prefer that, which is great. Makes this car a very collectible piece. The other thing I will say here is the undercarriage is as detailed as the engine compartment is. Again, original Cosmoline, factory paint marks, stickers. You'll see everything and how nicely preserved it was over the years. This vehicle was clearly always garaged and kept in a climate-controlled facility. The underneath of this, again, is very, very clean. And when it was being serviced, we did a lot of work, including all new suspension components and things like that. So again, make sure to check all that out. So that pretty much ends the presentation here with this particular car. The market right now is very, very strong for all types of classic cars, even newer cars. I can tell you right now that numbers are going to increase as time goes on. This is a great opportunity to own a Porsche and to be able to buy one that's still in what most people would consider an affordable price range when comparing these vehicles to other vehicles. As an example, a Porsche 914, which you might or might not be aware of, 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you could buy those cars for 10, 15, 20,000, depending on if they were a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder. They are now, even the 4-cylinders are selling for 40, 50, 60,000. Even the 6-cylinder models now have gotten into the $100, $120, $130,000 price range. You could kind of see where the market's going. These 944s here, the turbos, are getting extremely expensive. A few that we have sold in that $50,000, $60,000 neighborhood. Vehicles that had mileage similar to this and in this condition. So this is a golden opportunity before the prices even skyrocket more to buy a car, again, that has a clean Carfax, great ownership history, great color, and a seldom seen automatic transmission that, once again, I invested over $6,000 bringing to the level that you see here today. So we appreciate you watching this video. We ask you to please sign up for our VIP email blast if you have not done that. That's a great way to stay in contact with the dealership. We also ask you to follow us on social media as well. MS Classic Cars, a small company, but we are doing big things. Once again, we appreciate you watching. I'm going to go ahead and start it. Listen how beautiful it runs. Fires right up, and it absolutely runs beautiful. Thanks again for watching.